Lord.
Hey everybody, I am the Arcade Lord, and welcome to tonight's episode of The Writer's Lounge. Today I am joined by fellow TeamSpeak chat people, Delta and
Howdy.
Scalar Joe.
Hello.
In today's episode, we're going to be doing an interview with a very popular YouTuber and a pretty cool guy, Joshscorcher.
Aw, you're just saying that. Tell me more about how awesome I am. I like that. I feed off it.
Well, we have a nice face.
You are amazing.
I eat
Anyway,
attention.
We'll give you a lot of attention today, trust me.
Still hungry.
Okay, let's start. Okay, you ready for the...
Go
We
ahead.
ask you some
Feed
very
the
basic questions, and also some other questions that may pop up during this.
So basic like who, what, why, where, how, or like
Yeah,
that kind of basic, or
Yeah.
Sort of.
And let's start off with our first question that we have up. And how exactly did you become a brony anyway?
ooh, I love this story. Well, basically, I was kind of introduced to the show because I saw like all these memes pop up everywhere, and oh shoot, then there's someone. Could you please leave? Thank you. I'm a little busy. Thank you. All right, and well, basically, I just saw all these little memes pop up everywhere, and I just thought it was like, oh, it's just 4chan at it again. And then I see it. Then I remember seeing a post by this artist named well, his name isn't Tom Preston. His real name is Andrew Dobson. But he did a piece on how he was embarrassed to tell others that he watched My Little Pony. I'm like, oh, so he watches that? Okay. And then I just ignored it. And then let's see, what? And then I saw the Rainbow Dash versus Starscream Death Battle, and I'm just looking at them how they're using footage from the show. I'm like, wait a minute, wow, this thing has really improved since I last saw it. I mean, the animation's a whole lot better, and it's a whole lot faster, and it seems that there's a lot of depth to these characters. Huh? Still not watching it. And then eventually, one of my friends, who shall go unnamed, due to his request. Well, he was the one who, this particular friend, he has very, very high standards. It's like he hates everything. He hates everything popular. He will tear into things, and he was a big influence on me, on myself as a critic. So he got interested into My Little Pony, and he told me about it. And then I'm just thinking, okay, if he likes this, Mister I hate everything popular, then there's got to be something good in this. I watched the first episode. I wasn't a brony immediately after watching the first episode, so I kept watching the episodes, and so yeah, I was watching the episodes. I was mildly enjoying it, but I wouldn't consider myself a brony, but at that time. But eventually, somewhere towards the middle of the second season, I became a brony, but I didn't know it. I pretty much became a brony in denial. It's like I would deny I liked the show. It's like, no, the show is stupid, and I would nitpick every little thing wrong with it just to try and prove to myself that I didn't like the show. I was really in denial. It's actually kind of shocking looking back at how in denial I was. And I just kept watching it, and I eventually decided to make a review of it, of the first season, and people liked it. People thought it was entertaining. People thought it was funny, and it's got quite a few thousand views, and people who saw it included family, friends, and the people in my military platoon. So yeah, they kind of surprised me one day. It was just a normal morning formation, and it's in the military, you have morning formations to make sure everyone's there. And then all of a sudden, I hear from my gunnery sergeant, "Lance Corporal Burner, report!" And I snap to attention like a good Marine, and I walk to the front, and I got my game face on. It's like my face is like there's nothing wrong with me. It's like I got a straight face on, but inward I'm going, oh crap, what did I do? Oh crap. And then it's like, "Lance Corporal Burner reporting his order, gunnery sergeant." And then he just turns to everyone in the platoon. He's like, "As you all know, Lance Corporal Burner has bravely reviewed My Little Pony Friendship is Magic." Tick. This is what's going on in my head. Tick, 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 tick. they all know that I watch the show. Everyone in the room knows that I watch the show. Oh no. Then it's like in honor of Lance Corporal Burner's bravery, we present him with a medal. They handed me a brony shirt.
Oh my god!
Lucky you.
I saw that video where you presented
That is
the
cute.
shirt in front of the camera.
If I was you, buddy, I would be completely embarrassed about
I-
everything that I've done.
Yeah, and
I'm
that was
actually
really
pretty-
the point where I said, it's like, okay, screw it, I'm a brony. It's like,
trust me.
whenever people would tease me about it, it's like, haha, you're a brony. I'm like, shut up, I'm famous.
Well, what was
I
saying?
don't
Speak
have to
after
take
I
your
am
crap.
really
I don't have to
jealous.
take your crap. People like me on the internet. I don't have to. I don't care about any of you.
I am really jealous that you even got a shirt as a gift.
It's really funny because that's the only piece of brony merchandise that I own.
Wow.
It's like,
And
I'm not a
the ones
collector.
that I own
I'm not
are
a collector
cheaply
of
made.
merchandise. I don't get
At
it. I
least-
don't know why. How? I don't. It's like I went to another military brony and I spent a couple days with another military brony in Quantico, Virginia, and I just walked into his room and you just walk into his room and it just screams otaku. He's got like moe posters all over the walls.
Wow.
He's got the figurines everywhere. He's even got a blanket of my whole Pro Friendship is Magic blanket. I'm just looking at all this like, you're crazy. I don't get why people collect these things. I'm not a collector. I don't get it. I don't know why people like merchandise.
I'm a collector
At
of certain
least,
things, but our brony merchandise is one thing I do not collect.
well, at least
Don't get
you
it.
don't-
It's weird.
At least everybody, at least in your family, didn't come up to you and say you need to stop watching the show. So we're getting rid of everything on your computer that has to do with My Little Pony off your computer. You're gonna put this on your computer. You're gonna you're not gonna watch the show anymore. You can still like it, but you're not gonna watch it anymore. Like you're not. At least you don't have like your entire family doing that anymore. Well,
Oh no, my family was good. Oh no, my family was cool with it. It's like my mom still thinks it's weird. My dad's indifferent. My older brother thinks it's weird, and my sister's indifferent, and my little brother thinks it's weird.
Well, basically for me, they forced it completely out of my life. But then, like, I was walking with my mom one day, and I told her that, oh, I still watch the show, Mom. I'm still gonna watch it. I'm still gonna do it. Like, and she's like, Jacob, don't. And it's like, I'm still gonna watch it.
Yeah, my mom was a little hesitant, but eventually she warmed up to the idea that I'm allowed to watch what I watch, and I'm not going to put anything into my brain that's going to hinder my character.
And to be honest, even if I did something like that, usually my family would just be joking around like they usually do, saying, haha, pony boy, which ironically is what we nicknamed my brother when he used to give little kids rides on horses.
I have my
ironically.
own question to ask Josh.
But eventually, knowing my family, they would just let the thing pretty much die down as per usual.
As saying, do you always listen to the requests of your subscribers when they request you to review an episode? Do you always review the one that has the most requests, or do you just review one that has requests but not as many as the one that has the most?
I review what I want to review. It's the thing is, I wanted to review Double Rainbow because I had a lot of things I wanted to say about it.
Oh,
Trust me.
that was one of the animations that got me into the fandom, believe it or not.
To me, I was just thinking, how many pop cultural references can we squeeze in into about a half-hour time square?
Double Rainbow got you into ponies. My condolences.
Yes. Yeah. For me, it was from one of the episodes from season 1, not the actual opener.
What first
How do I not talk about it?
What first sparked curiosity about MLP? The dot mobs.
Oh gosh, I hate those. I know I sound like
But
a real pretentious hipster when I say I hate everything. I hate everything that the fandom's created, but there's just a lot of things that the fandom's created that I despise.
I can agree with you on that.
It's like the dumb love movies. I don't get it. I just don't think they're funny.
Okay, I don't
It's
think
like,
they're
I don't
funny.
like Friendship is Witchcraft. I don't think it's funny.
There there is a comic where the Applejack in the Dot Mauve universe, she gets her own story arc where she travels to the actual Equestria. To me it was really good. It was really good. It explains the whole Holy Sword of the Titans thing. It explains where she went during the time Discord and the demon were destroying everything. It explains that. I personally thought that part of it was okay, but the actual animations were over the top.
Anyway, that can probably segue into our next question. Probably not. But anyway, like, why did you decide to write MLP fanfictions in the first place? Anyway,
I lost the bet.
You lost a bet.
I saw that video. That was hilarious.
I lost the bet. I lost a bet to for It's like that unnamed friend. I lost the bet and I made a snide comment about. I remember making a snide comment. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I made a snide comment about the writing in this show and how it's like, oh come on, why is it taking so long between seasons? And it's like the writing for half of these shows isn't even that good. So why would they? So what's freaking taking it so long? And then he just decides to play his you owe me card and says, okay, why don't you write an episode? Go ahead, write an episode, create characters all from scratch, do it. And that's how Recasted was born.
well then.
It's like I wrote the story, I didn't want it to suck, so I put some effort into it, and I fell in love with the characters that I wrote, and I just want to keep seeing where they'll go.
Bets do that to people. They could do something incredibly stupid, and then you end up liking it.
Out.
Oh dear. Well.
And the second fic I wrote, which is Making the Sunshine, was because I'm a big Willy Wonka fan. It's like I love the story of Willy Wonka, but the thing is that each version of I'm a fan of all three versions. It's like the original book, the 1971 Stewart version, and the 2003 Burton version. I love all three. If I had to pick a favorite, it would be the Burton version. But all three of them do things that I don't know. It's just, all three of them do things that bug me. That I just think are, wait, what? Why would you do that? That's completely stupid and illogical. And so basically what I want to do with this fic is trying to get all these characters and kind of, set it right. It's like, tell the story the way I think it should be told. It's because each version, I think that each version does something really wrong. It's like the original, it's like the original book. It has a nasty, it's like nothing on Roald Dahl as a person, but he really has a skewed concept of what's a good child. It's a good child, according to him, is just a child that just doesn't get into trouble. And that's basically what Charlie is in the book. He just doesn't get into trouble. And that's deserving of a chocolate factory. You just don't get into trouble. Okay. Whereas in the Stewart version, Charlie he's able to be a good child in spite of his temptations. He's able to overcome his temptations, and that is what I think is a good child. And now the newer Stewart version, and the new Burton version, it's like, yeah, he still kind of has some some of that doll child, but towards the end he does something that's it's like he shows that, oh, he has every reason to want to he can live in happiness. He can have anything he's ever wanted, but he's got to give up his family. And so he's like, no, I ain't doing that. I like my family. Screw you, Wonka.
Well then. Boy. I I have a question.
Yep.
What do you think of Digibrony and Brony Curious as analysts?
I don't really pay attention to the analysis community because, all in all, they're just really. That's all in all, they're just really taking this show, I think, way too seriously.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've even done my little analysis. I even do my little analysis things on the side. And I review the show, but I'm just doing it for fun. I'm just doing it because it's fun. I do think they take some elements way too serious. It's like whenever I'm poking fun, whenever I'm pointing out flaws in the show, it's because it's as a joke. But when I feel whenever they point out flaws, it's because they're like way too serious about it.
Well, that's an interesting take on that. Anyway, we have one more. Well, we have one more really big question before we just start asking you random questions.
All right.
And that is, do you have any pet peeves in the world of fiction? Like, it can be fan fiction, it could be just normal fiction. Do you have any like gigantic pet peeves that just make you like you're enjoying a book, then you see that and you just put the book down and never look at it again?
Well, if we're talking, I have two pet peeves. It's like the first pet peeve I got multiple pet peeves, but if we're talking just fan fiction, then I hate shipping. I know that's a big thing. I know that's a big thing to hate, but I cannot stand shipping. It's like shipping to me just exists as wish fulfillment. And that's just something I don't like. It's like especially inter-main 6 shipping. It's like, wait a minute, the title of the show is freaking Friendship is Magic. That kind of goes against the theme of the show if you ship these characters together. And it's like, and even some of the like other ships like Fluttershy and Big Macintosh, it's like those guys are completely incompatible.
Thank you. Someone else who agrees.
It's like, and yes, Drill Sergeant Tweak, I'm very sorry, but I think your shipping of Rainbow Dash and Big Macintosh is no. I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think it works.
Okay, here's what I think of you as a reviewer. Whenever I see you review something, like I always like how you would give your bias, but then you give a lot of the benefit of the doubt to the show and to the writers, and you're not like the analysts who are just like, oh, this should be in there, oh, this and that, oh, this is wrong. And it's like like you said, they take it so seriously, and like I just like how you at least give the writing a chance. You at least give it a chance for the most part.
Oh, well, thank you. It's just, I don't think that I should judge anything in it. I'm the type of person who doesn't judge anything without seeing the whole picture. If I'm going to give a judgment on a TV show, I gotta watch the whole thing. If I'm going to give a judgment on a movie, I gotta see the whole thing. It's like, even if it's really, really terrible, even if it's like, oh my gosh, why am I watching this? I gotta continue it because who knows? It might surprise me in the end.
At least you don't torment yourself like a nostalgia critic.
Well, then again, it's like Nostalgia Critic. He kind of does the same thing. It's like he looks at bad movies from a comedic standpoint. He doesn't look at. It's all an act. It's like he pretends to hate these movies. It's like I'm pretty sure that most of the time these movies don't really bother him.
Yeah, they actually don't really bother him.
It's like you're just looking at it, and they're just cracking jokes. They're just having a little fun, and they're inviting you along for the ride. And that's basically what I'm doing. It's like I'm just cracking a couple jokes at these with my own brand of straight man deadpan humor, and I'm just just having fun, and I hope everyone else does the same. And that's the kind of the point of the show. It's just have a little fun. So we don't need to. It's like we don't need to analyze every little bit. We don't need to overanalyze every little bit of it just to find just to justify your own headcanons. It's just watch the freaking show.
Very true. Well, do you have any other pet peeves, or is that it? Or is that the only one?
Oh, that's just for fan fiction. Other pet peeves of mine
User joined your channel.
media in general include love triangles. Freaking hate love triangles. The awkward misunderstanding, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, it's where
You
somebody
know, the
messes up or
awkward
something.
misunderstanding. It's like, oh gosh, it's like whenever they're going to be in an awkward situation, it's like, boy, it would be really bad if that person walked in on that. There we go, there they are. Oh yeah, and the third another one of my pet peeves: fake
User in your
deaths.
channel timed
Oh
out.
my gosh.
Thank you. Okay.
It's like this person's like, oh, it's like,
Okay,
oh,
Lord.
he's dead. I'm like, 3, 2, 1, he's alive. There we go.
It's oh my god. My buddy and I, Kirify, who's up in the general chat. His actual name is Traxic. He changed it over. But he and I are doing a collab fic, and this will explain my frustration earlier. We were trying to, in a sense, make the story with as little cliches as possible. We weren't going to have him die and then he enters Equestria, or he's going to be, no, it was going to be a simple, because, okay, the story was inspired by a tabletop RPG called Ars Magica, and some elements that I will be using also come from Full Metal Alchemist in terms of the way alchemy will be used. And we start writing the fic. We get to the point where he does enter Equestria, but we don't really say, oh, he entered Equestria. We imply that he did, but because of that, the fic got rejected twice.
I never had to deal with rejected fictions. Are we talking rejected from Equestria Daily or just fan fiction?
Fan fiction. Equestria Daily can suck my nuts.
Hey, be nice.
Okay, I'll be nice.
Most of the writers.
The scum of the earth. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Well, with that, Jay, with all those really three big questions done, do you mind if we just ask you some random questions?
No, I don't mind. Ask away, you insufferable peons.
Well then, thank you, sire. Well, one of our first questions is,
Blessed
what's your
are
favorite-
you to be graced by my presence.
I shall shine your shoes.
Quite.
I don't
Anyway,
wear
what's your
shoes.
favorite-
I'm not currently wearing shoes, you insufferable boob.
But we'll shine any shoes that
Oh.
you have within the confines of your house, good sir.
If you say even set foot in my house without my permission, I will stab you in the eyes.
Okay.
Jokes on you, I have no eyes.
Wow,
just
that's
like
awkward.
just like Tom from Ed's World.
Have you
But that's-
seen my picture lately? I have no eyes.
Anyway, what's your favorite pony, Josh? Or I
Rarity.
guess who?
Rarity is best pony. Why? She is always on the stage.
For me, Applejack.
Applejack's pretty good. She's number 2 for me. I just really like Rarity because, well, I've gone through like pretty much all of the shenanigans she's gone through. It's especially Sisterhood Social. It's like I actually cried at that episode because I'm just looking at that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm that. I'm a horrible person.
Hey, wake
Laughing
up.
at people's misery is funny.
I'm just looking at a lot of the episodes that
All right, welcome
Josh
back.
died.
Okay, that was
Yeah,
weird. Your internet just derp out on you?
I don't know. It's like I think I heard something about a tree falling on the line or something.
Oh.
It is snowing.
Well, anyway,
I'm back and welcome
yeah.
back, Josh.
It is where I am.
you were talking
too.
about why your favorite character is Rarity.
I was talking about where did I stop?
So you're
That's
talking about
me!
Sisterhood
I am
Social,
a-
and then you start screaming like, "Oh my God, that's me! I'm a terrible person!"
Okay,
yeah,
And I
well,
think that's when you stop.
Yeah, it's just I've gone through a lot of the shenanigans that Rarity has gone through, and really I've gone through a lot of the shenanigans that Applejack has gone through. It's like people like to give Last Roundup a lot of flack because they're like, oh my gosh, Applejack was lying. She would never do that. She's the element of honesty. She would never lie to her friends like that.
Her
She's
pride was hurt.
just being stubborn. She learned nothing from her previous episodes. And I'm just looking at that. I'm like, those are actually some very logical reactions. You know why? Because I've done them. And so I know exactly how Applejack feels.
Yeah,
she was too ashamed to meet her family. She just holds her family in such high regard that she can't stand to disappoint them.
Yeah,
I
her
understand
pride
that.
was completely shot at that point.
Yeah, pardon me. First of all, I just got here, but okay. Well,
Oh my God, you sound like Josh, Maddie.
Wait, what?
Anyways,
Not really.
I've just been looking at that. I'm just looking at these episodes, and I'm like, each of the characters kind of has a trait that goes against their element of harmony. It's like Twilight, she's kind of antisocial. It's like she likes to be alone. She's introverted, and she's the element of friendship. Or if you want to go that route, you could say, oh well, she's just the element of magic. Well, she kind of screws a lot of spells up for being the element of magic.
Well, I get what you're saying here. Is
Even Applejack,
Applejack,
she lies all the time. But do you know why she lies? Because she's prideful. It's like, and pride is one of the greatest barriers to honesty. It's like, and Rarity, she's the element of generosity, but she's also greedy.
No,
Josh,
And Pinkie Pie, she's the element of laughter, but she's also emotionally unstable.
Wait, Josh,
And Rainbow Dash, she's loyal, but she's also lazy. It's like, can you help me? Show me your loyalty. Too much effort.
Yeah, nope, out of character. Nope, not gonna do it with it. Nope.
Yeah,
Just
I for one, as many people bitch and moan about as as a writer and storyteller myself, I for one can appreciate a character that has both great strengths as well as great weaknesses, because that's what makes a three-dimensional character. If they didn't have any flaws, then we wouldn't give a damn about when they triumph.
So
Yeah, it's like when I had to create new characters from scratch and had to be dynamic. It's like, okay, they also gotta have weaknesses. And I was creating one of my characters, Firebrand, and it's like, okay, he's loyal. He's a generous person. It's like, if you need help, he'll first tell you you're an idiot, but then he'll actually help you. But his flaw is that he's perfectionistic. He's too perfectionistic.
Ooh, that's a really big trait.
Yeah, I actually have just thought.
It's like it's his way or the highway, and he's also tactless. He doesn't understand a lot of. He's like he will yell at you and he won't care, and he can sometimes come across as heartless.
Yeah, one thing I'm curious about. You said his name is Firebrand, right?
Yeah.
Well, there wouldn't be a Gargoyles Quest reference, would it? Or is this just a coincidence?
That was the fucking gargoyle's name. God damn it.
No, it wasn't. It's not a Gargoyles reference. It was just I found that I looked at the definition in the dictionary and I'm like, oh, that kind of describes this guy.
Right. If record, again, for those unaware, Gargoyles Quest was a spin-off to Ghosts and Goblins, and the main character.
Yeah, it's Firebrand is the gargoyle. He's the main character of that game.
Yeah.
I thought that was Demon's Quest.
Or Demon's Quest. Well, it was called Demon's Quest for a while, I think.
No, I'll explain that. There were 3 games. The first 2 games were Gargoyles Quest and Gargoyles Quest 2, but the third one was completely renamed Demon's Crest. But it is considered to be the third game in that series. But that's
I consider it.
Yeah. It's confirmed by Capcom that it is, but it's unknown why they changed the name for the third one. And
Anyways, it's like,
right.
Yeah, it's like these characters need to have weaknesses. If they ever do something that, whenever someone says that a character does something out of character for them, and I'm just thinking, writers know what they're doing.
Yeah. Also, excuse me. This question, yeah, it's a random question. Anyway, I wanted to ask if you ever find the time in your day, will we be seeing more of you in this chat, if at all possible?
I wouldn't count on it because I'm pretty busy as it is. It's like I'm trying to work. I'm actually working on a countdown right now, and I've been wanting to get done for a while.
Ah.
And I've also got a site. I also got a site to run. I've also got to prepare for the. That's like my Saturdays are going to be completely shot because of the new pony episodes, and I've kind of promised the FOB community that I do an analysis video every week.
That's understandable.
Well,
Hey,
Damn.
Josh.
that being said, I want to say one thing, just in case I never get another chance to say it. You remember the military bronies react, the teams react video?
Yeah.
I loved your reaction.
Well, you remember that part where you said, I forget which one said, but this one guy said this one thing, and I love your reaction was, if I remember correctly, said the 17-year-old to the Marine, got me right on the floor, because, I don't know, I'd like you putting what's-his-face in his place like that. It's like, oh yeah, this little guy here saying that. Okay, now I'm just over-explaining it, but the point is, that was like my favorite part of the whole video.
Oh, thank you. It's like they're teenagers. They're stupid. They don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like teenagers think
Josh.
that. It's like teenagers think they know everything. They think they know best. And so, no, they don't. It's like once they actually get out into the real world and not just the world of, it's like it's like I got that test or that essay I gotta do. It's like also there's that girl in the corner of the room that I really really like, but I know it's true love even though I haven't even seen her yet. It's like people just need to get out. It's like join the military. You'll see the world from a whole new perspective.
Well,
I
I
believe
work at
that
McDonald's,
Zach
so
loves
I'm
pizza.
kidding.
I'd like to ask you
Whoa.
a
I
question.
do.
All right.
That kind of
Oh yes. Hey Josh. This is really random, and you said that it was snowing and all, really bad. Are you
Yep.
like by any chance in the area of near Cincinnati?
No, I'm in Maryland.
Oh, okay. That
At least you don't
'cause
live in California.
it's snowing really bad here too.
Oh, I've lived in California before.
Just a random
I
question.
hate it here.
As for my next question, this does pertain to military bronies. As in recent times, we've seen the brony community get people from all walks of life, but it seems like one that I don't want to say surprising, but one that's very interesting is that we're seeing the fandom escalating within the armed forces. Do you have any idea why this show is resonating with people, from that walk of life as opposed to others?
Well, there's multiple reasons. It's like one of the reasons is that My Little Pony is an escape. I'm gonna say right now, for a lot of people, My Little Pony is an escape. It's an escape to like this utopian world where everything is perfect. People like each other. It's like there's little to no conflict. Yes, there's shenanigans, but it's not that bad. It's like there's nothing life threatening. It's like everything's great. People are friends. People like each other. People are willing to be friends with each other at the drop of a hat. It's like that's one thing a lot of people like about it. And being in the military, it's a hard job. Being in the military is very very hard. It's I believe it was Time Magazine that did a poll. It's like for like 5 consecutive years, being in the military was ranked at the top of the top 5 most stressful jobs in America. It's a hard job, and being and watching ponies, it's a nice show. It portrays a very nice, uplifting atmosphere, and it inspires a lot of hope in people. It's like maybe things don't have to be so bad. It's like these characters can get along, and they're real characters. They seem like real people, so it gives people hope.
Yeah, my brother was in the reserve for quite some time, but he never really watched the show. He doesn't like the show at all. But my brother was in the National Guard. Oh my God, I can't fucking talk. And he currently works 2 jobs and goes to school. I think he's still in the military. I don't really know. I think he's still in the military.
Hey, hey Josh, what branch were you from? Just
I'm in the
wondering.
Marine Corps.
Okay, I was thinking about joining the Navy until my mom, yes, my mom, told me no
I was
because it's a
thinking doing
different
the
time.
same
Mothers
thing
of
too.
America.
Yeah, she said that it's a different time than it was 30 or 20 years back.
Yeah, I'm gonna
You
say
mean different how?
Yeah, I'm gonna say right now, I think the Navy's probably the only thing I'm really familiar with because I think about a few generations of my family was in the Navy. Yeah, my dad was in the
Same here.
Well, I was planning on joining the Navy till I recently found a job, and I'm currently going to school, so I won't be able to freaking me being freaking like always having something distracting me. I wouldn't be able to freaking balance it all out.
So, one thing I want to get back to Rarity because John, pretty much Rarity. I have like a favorite poll myself. Like I pretty much do it my top three. Favorite main six: Rarity, Princess Luna, and background Derpy. Called the Saint Tremaine Trinity. Didn't design it that way, which is a coincidence. But point is, getting to Rarity. I missed a lot. I came in like after you said most of your stuff about her, but I for one choose her as my favorite of the main six, mainly. See, like I'm a writer, you see, and I kind of connect with her from an artistic point of view. Like my favorite episode from the first season alone is suited for its success, and 'cause it just shows like the struggle of what an artist must go through, and I just appreciate that both as an episode and as a character. That being said, is there any other specific details of why this character resonates with you?
Oh yeah, that's it. That's kind of how. That's kind of when I said I know what the shenanigans she's going through. It's like art of the dress. It's like I know how it feels to like. That's a. It's you want to please it. You want to please all your friends. It's like, oh my gosh, I got this great idea, but I can apply my art to all of you. It's just tell me a couple of things. I'll have a lot of things ready for you. And you overwork it. You overwork yourself to the point where you stress yourself out and you can't like perform daily tasks.
I see.
It's like
Yeah.
you just promise something. You just promise something to your friends, and it's like, oh, I can apply my craft. It's like I can create something for all of you, and it just
Yeah. One thing I don't
Yeah, I felt like
understand
that
though
before.
is
the artistic grind.
yeah. One thing I don't really understand about that episode was
So, Josh, I wanted to ask you a question.
People interrupting each other.
yeah, it's fine. I'll let him go. I was just gonna
Okay.
later.
Okay, I know this is gonna be weird, but it's gonna be a two-parter. Okay,
Okay.
what
Try
is
me.
your
I've seen weird.
opinion about the Equestria Girls movie and Cupcakes?
Okay. Okay.
I'm just asking your opinion because for me, I thought Cupcakes really wasn't that frightening, and I thought the movie was decent.
Well, I thought Equestria Girls was hilarious. I thought it was really really funny. It's like plot wasn't that coherent and the climax was terrible, but it was really really funny. And that's it's like whether I'm entertained by drama, whether I'm entertained by just a good story, or whether I'm entertained by just being or just laughing my butt off, it doesn't really matter. And Equestria Girls, it's like, oh my gosh, it was hilarious.
Okay, so Josh.
And Cupcakes, I don't
Let me
get it.
guess, you're terrified by it?
Not really terrified. I'm just looking at it. It's like this is trying way too hard to be disturbing.
Same thing with Smile HD.
To be honest, I actually watched a YouTube video called Tat's Videos Top 22 Non-Gaming Related Creepypastas, and surprisingly, it was up on number 9. So obviously, people are scared by it. I don't really see how.
If you want to see a really disturbing, something similar but good, listen to or watch the movie Sweeney Todd. That's like, I consider it in terms of the concept, I wouldn't be surprised if the author it was actually inspired by Sweeney Todd. It's a sort of similar concept of murdering someone and turning them into a pastry. But anyway,
I just don't get it.
Yeah, I actually getting back to a question, guys. I kind of you stated your personal opinions on it. Like this one's a bit okay. I'm not sure how the phrase, but anyway, I'm kind of wondering what your opinion on the reaction. Because if you remember correctly, when it was announced, everyone was going apeshit. People were hating it before we even saw a clip. I, for one, kept an open mind, and I was actually looking forward to. I was like one of the few I thought who was actually looking forward to. Yeah, I'm just saying, in terms of the community as a whole, there seems like there were more people who were expecting to hate it than people like me or Delta who were expecting to actually enjoy it. My point, I guess the best way to phrase it, like, what was your reaction to the community's reaction? Question, girls.
Well, I already did a video kind of on it. It's I did a video drinking brony tears, and I said, wait till it comes out. It's yeah, and I wasn't too optimistic about it because I'm just looking at this and it's like, oh my gosh, come on, Hasbro. But it's but then again, it's like, you know me, I don't judge things until I've seen them.
Okay, I have 2 questions for you. The first one, I recently saw your video about the new Zelda game, quote unquote, that's coming out on the Wii U. Second, Mysterious Mare Duel.
Yeah, about that?
Go.
Mysterious Mare Duel. I like the episode.
Thank you! Finally, someone else agrees.
Yeah, you better not ask me because I'll probably be a party pooper.
Yes, I'm here.
Again, like I usually say, flawed, yes. Kinda dumb, yes. But still, kinda good episode.
For me, I think it's like my second most hated. My number one hated being Daring Don't. That's just my opinion.
Well, so Mysterious Mare Duel, it's like people really like to get on that episode for it's like, oh my gosh, Rainbow Dash wouldn't do all these things. It's like that's totally in Rainbow Dash's character to do. It's like, and there's also the whole it's like, oh, but Twilight's friend should have talked to her out of it. It's like, okay, 1, they already did. Did you watch the episode? And 2, once you start writing your tramp stamp in the sky, you're kind of already too far gone.
Exactly.
Sometimes you need to slap your friends in the face in order to get them to wake up.
Exactly.
Oh my god, I've been arguing with people like that so many times. So many people argued with that.
Again, finally, other people that finally agree with me.
Well,
it's just sometimes talking to a person does not work. It's like, that's not to say you shouldn't try. It's like, you should always try it. It's like, this is why I'm personally for. It's like, whenever people tell me that you shouldn't spank a child, it's just like, oh, why? I don't get it. It's the thing is that spanking, sometimes you gotta do it. It's like, I'm not saying it's that you should always do it. I'm not saying to mercilessly beat your child. I'm not to say just drop the drawers right in the middle of a Walmart and start spanking your kid mercilessly. It's just, sometimes you gotta do it. Sometimes you have to. It's like, sometimes that's the only way people will learn. It's like, sometimes talking doesn't cut it.
My respect for you has gone 20% higher.
My respect for you has increased, even though I never met anything of you.
Now, I pretty much have I have myself a 2-parter I've just formulated.
Well, I don't think I got an answer for the first question that I asked, but I forgot what it was.
But yes, my next question involves the 2 latest episode, Fight to the Finish and Bats, respectively. Basically, what was your opinions on just the episodes in general, but also the most interesting things about them, that being the manner in which Fight to the Finish handled disabilities and the introduction of pony bats and such in Bats.
Pony bats. I kind of already did an analysis video on that, so if you want to watch that.
Yeah, apologies if I have not seen all your work.
Okay, one thing. Oh, sorry. You want to
So, well, if you haven't seen the video, it's just basically that everyone's saying that Flutterbat is a legitimate bat pony, and personally, I don't think that's true. But
Me too.
I'm trying not to take the show seriously. It's like I personally don't think she was an actual bat pony because, well, she just wasn't in control of her mind at the time. And she was crossed with a, and that just kind of sounds weird having wait a minute, bat ponies are just Pegasus crossed with vampire fruit bats? That just sounds lame.
It sounds really dumb.
Yeah.
Okay, Josh. I saw your review. Okay, I saw your review on the fuck. I think it was Feeling Pinky Keen. I saw that review, and the part with the Hydra in Twilight Sparkle, where Twilight Sparkle was trying to avoid the Hydra. When you were yelling at her to teleport, I felt the need to kind of disagree, because it requires too much focus. You need to kind of take the time to know where you're going, and you kind of
Ticketmaster.
I think
that was more of a panic.
Hydra panic.
Again, I know this is kind of going off with the ponies anthology too, but I kind of agree with that short clip. It's just like, grab the closest thing you to go and Leroy Jenkins this mother.
It's like that. It's like the thing is that she had to in Ticketmaster, she had to concentrate to teleport both her and Spike, and it's a short distance like that, and she just doesn't really want to teleport. It's like, come on. Oh whatever.
Well,
whatever. We have to shoehorn in our lesson somehow.
Yeah, and that's also a point right there. Kind of, if she kind of used magic to solve all her issues, there wouldn't be an episode.
I know. That's why I try not to take the show too seriously.
I feel like Wizards of Waverly Place.
It's like that's why I try not to take the show too seriously, because we end up like the conversation that they had in Daring Don't, and I'm just looking at that. I'm like, is that what we sound like?
I'm sorry, Josh, but that's what fanboys sound like when they get too into it.
Hey, that's what I sound like.
I know, exactly. Elta, I think you and I had a similar conversation just the other night, in fact.
Yeah, an hour and a half long call.
Exactly.
Well, anyway, I have one last question before, you're off the hook, Josh.
Alright.
Right, do you have any tips or advice for any starting writers for people in the YouTube community?
Tips for starting writers. Starting writers. Create a character sheet. So if you're going to create a story, that has good characters, you got to create a character sheet first. It's like you got to list things like you got to list their name. It's like where the places they've been. What's their favorite food? It's like what do they like to do in their off time, or what was this character doing before the events of this plot that you're starting? It's like what do they have? What are their aspirations? What are their ambitions? What are their wants, hopes, dreams, fears? Especially fears. It's because you can create a lot of great things, because it's like one of my characters, Firebrand. He's arachnophobic, and there's a lot of things that I like to do with that. And he's also hydrophobic. He's not really hydrophobic. He just hates water. But and the thing is I love water, so I don't know why he hates water. Well, I do know why, because he's always had a lot of bad experiences with water. So yeah, it kind of stands to reason. But anyways, it's like you just gotta learn that. You just gotta figure things out about your character. It's like, 1 minute, I'm gonna pull one of these design documents up that I have for one of my characters. Let's see. Let's see. Google Drive. Where is it? There it is. All right. It's like you just gotta. Here's what I do. It's like, what you got to do is like you gotta. I'm gonna go down this. What actor do you envision voicing your character? It's it could be a voice actor. It could be a Hollywood actor. It could be an actor at anything. Next one is theme songs. It's like, does this character have a theme? Would this character have a theme song? If so, pick 2 or 3. It's like, what's this person alignment? Like D&D alignment. It's like one of my characters is lawful neutral. He plays by the rules, but people usually don't like him for it. And what's his persona? It's like, what tropes does this guy symbolize? It's like, well, my character is good as not nice, and he's a jerk with a heart of gold. It's like, what's his general disposition? He's a critic. It's like, and what's this guy's special abilities? What's this guy's education? What's this guy's family? Does this guy have a motto? What are his aspirations? What's this guy's job? What's this guy's objective? What are his wants? What are his fears? What's a single adjective to describe this character? What skills does this guy have? Does he have any trademark objects? What are his common emotions? Does he have a signature move or tick? What does he wear? What's his attire? Where's his birthplace? Where does he live? What's his emotional stability? What does he do to comfort it? What does he do to comfort himself? What's his virtue? If you were to choose between the seven deadly sins and the 7 heavenly virtues, which one would they do? Would it be charity and wrath? Would it be fortitude and greed?
Timed out.
It's like, and especially if you're doing ponies, it's like, okay, what's their cutie mark? How'd they get it? What does it symbolize? If you were to hear their voice, what would they do? If you're gonna write a character, write everything about the character.
I have a question. Okay.
You're lagging like a
So-
Zach.
So,
User
Am I
entered
lagging?
your channel.
I think it's Zach.
No, sorry, my connection from
Yeah, I think
whatever
I'm
just
lagging
dirt
too.
down on me.
you like Applejack better like Hub Tracer or like in the stories, like in the fan fictions, like would you like Applejack better?
Epic for everyone.
What the hell?
Everyone's lagging. Josh, are you feeling sad?
Well, everything's fine on my end, I suppose. It's like, am I coming out all cracky?
No.
Same here.
Hilarious.
I have a question. I have a question. I know you don't always find a whole lot of free time. Understandable. Like you don't have a whole lot of free time, especially being a really famous YouTuber and also being a written card. Not a whole lot of free time. Understandable. However, like I noticed that you play Team Fortress. You're playing Team Fortress 2, and I think I'm not sure if you play any other Steam games because the one I know that you play every now and then is Team Fortress 2. I was wondering if you could do about any other Steam games like Dota or something like Terraria or what.
Not really. So really the only online game I play is Team Fortress 2, so yeah, sorry to crush your hopes and dreams.
Damn it. Well, actually, I have to say, I commend you for not getting into Dota 2. Commend you for it.
I have a few questions if I may. About anything, I mean, I asked one question, I didn't quite get an answer for it. I asked you a 2-part question. I asked you about your opinions on the episode of Bats and Fight to the Finish, and I also asked your opinions on both the quote-unquote bat pony as well as the subject of disabilities presented in Fight to the Finish.
Sorry, what?
He's asking your opinion on Fight to the Finish and Bats.
The what?
Fight to the Finish and Bats from season 4.
Oh, Flight to the Finish.
It's particularly, I want to know how you felt the issue of disabilities was handled.
I thought it was for a kids show. It was handled very well. It's well, let me see if I can phrase this properly. If what they were going for was that Scootaloo is disabled and she won't be able to fly, then it's good. If they do have her plan on flying later, then it's still good.
This was a prediction I made for season 4. Everyone here can vouch for me.
It's I think I personally don't mind if I don't mind if they have Scootaloo be disabled. Then and I don't mind if they have her not be disabled. It's like I think it would be more dramatic and it would have a lot make Scootaloo's character have a lot of depth if she were disabled and her able and have stories be about her overcoming it or about her accepting it and just do it and having and dealing with having to do something else. It's like those are great dramatic setups, but then again they don't have to be there. It's you could just easily have her just achieve a lot something through hard work. But you could just as easily as well. It's like saying, oh, it's like no matter what you do, you can't be able to do it. And sometimes that's the way it is. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes no matter how hard you try, you can't do it, and that's a tough lesson for a lot of kids to learn. It's like the thing is that some things I can't do. I can't draw for crap. I can't draw. But I look at people who do it, and I just look and say, wow, I will never be able to do that.
Same here.
It's like there's just something. It's like a man's got to know his limits. It's like sometimes you can't do something, and you got to be able to understand that. And that's a tough lesson for some kids to swallow. It's like because we're brought up with a lot of like cartoons and Disney movies and a whole bunch of animated films that say, "Oh, you can do anything if you put your mind to it." When that's a whole lot of crock.
Yeah, at the same time, though, I understand exactly what you're saying, but first I will say put Disney as Disney, but to say something better than just that, it's important to know your limits, but it's also important to
try.
To try, yes, and pretty much to have dreams.
So yeah,
have
so I'm not
faith,
saying don't try, but if you can't do it, you can't do it.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that kind of broke my heart watching that episode. It's like Scootaloo was just trying so hard.
Yeah.
And the thing is that she can't do it, and that was very 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 depressing, honestly.
Yeah, considering she's my favorite CMC, so my heart.
My favorite CMC is Sweetie Belle.
Yeah,
for me,
Sweetie
it's
Belle. There we go.
Anyway, Zach has no more lag, and he would like to ask his question.
Okay. So who do you like Applejack portrayed by? Like, do you like her portrayed by the fan fiction stories or the My Little Pony episodes?
Depends.
Okay.
So I generally like how she's portrayed in the MLPs because she's a very dedicated individual. She says things how they are, and she's very down to earth, and I've gone through a lot of the shenanigans she's gone through. Most of the fictions I read involving Applejack are.
She's a typical hick.
No, she's always shipped with Rainbow Dash.
Same here, and
and that just kind of annoys me. It's like you're not the first person to do this to do a ship fic involving Rainbow Dash and Applejack. I've read it before. They're gonna get together in the end. Yeah, sure, there's gonna be a drama, but they're gonna get together. It's like do something original for crying out loud.
Okay.
Really?
Hold on. I want to give my 2 cents.
Sorry.
For me, when it comes to the fanfiction stories, a lot of people, like, my biggest issue is not necessarily the shipping so much as them portraying her as an idiot, incapable, the typical stereotypical hick. And they go really ham on her accent.
Yeah, I've
really
been noticing that a lot.
That's never real. It's like when they go ham on their accent, it doesn't really kind of bother me.
It kind of bothers me, but
it bothers me because they always portray her like completely differently than the show does.
Like she doesn't know language.
Then again, it's fan fiction. What you see is what you get.
Yeah, that's why.
That's why I kind of have my standards really low for fan fiction. It's because these guys are not professional writers.
Yeah, because it's always the typical. For some people, when they write an HIE fic, they're like, "I'm gonna write this emo guy in the story." He's gonna somehow get with this character. Oh, these characters are gonna act so freaking cliched. It's like, what?
Usually, the human in Equestria fic is some guy's. Usually, the human Equestria fic is a writer's like introduction into the world of fan fiction. It's like it's their kind of rite of passage, and it's like sometimes it's the harsh lesson that they gotta learn that writing fan fiction isn't this easy.
Yeah, it isn't. Like, whenever I write my fics, I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so horrible. It's like, and then like a lot of people say, no, it's good. Just make a few changes. I'm like,
Oh,
no,
yes. Same for
no,
me.
it's bad.
I can relate.
You're your own worst critic.
Yeah,
That's what my teachers told me before.
because okay, one fic that there's a crossover that I'm doing. I know you don't play a whole lot of online games, and hardly anyone has heard of this game, apparently, Maple Story.
Oh, I've heard of it.
Yeah, and I'm trying to do the crossover between MapleStory and MLP, and I'm just trying to work the scenes out in my head, plan them out, make sure I have them premeditated before I put them out there. And it's like, and after I submit the chapter, it's like I could have done a little more with this scene. I could have been a little more descriptive with this. And then I start to think like, I can't write the ponies for crap. Like I can't even write them the way the show writes them.
Well, it's good that you're judging yourself like that. It's good that it's good that you're holding yourself to that high of a standard, because if you hold yourself to a high standard, then the less chances that people are going to find fault with it. Then again, you don't want to hold yourself to too high of a standard, otherwise nothing will get done. Sometimes you're just going to I'm not saying to just say screw it, but sometimes you're just going to have to compromise with yourself if something's been held off too long.
Yeah. I want to give the name of my fic, so maybe you can consider it, but I'm just like, I don't know.
Anyway, I'm pretty sure that's all the time we have for today. Thank you, Josh, for coming over for this interview.
Remember, God made you special, and He loves you very much.
This has been the Writers Lounge.
Woo!
And my
been the
little brother
Writers
keeps
Lounge.
yelling in the background.
We'll see you guys.
Well, if that's all you guys need me for,
next
then
time.
I will see you. Peace out. Kaboom!
Bye.